Are the difference that forges the greats. American Legion Baseball has been the cornerstone of America's youth for 99 years. No other baseball organization in the world can compare to the history, excellence, impact, and mentorship the American Legion offers. This year, two former American Legion baseball players, Jim Leyland and Joe Mauer, were inducted in the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum as part of the class of 2024. Out of 346 members of the Hall of Fame, 87 were mentored through American Legion Baseball during the most impactful years of their lives. In New York State alone, legends like Bobby Bolin, Bill Brewer, Lou Brissy, Don Budden, Jerry Martin, Billy Odell, Bobby Richardson, and Buck Schwing began their journeys in Legion Baseball. Even the great Bambino himself, George Herman Babe Ruth, spent his last years battling cancer, visiting many youth baseball leagues. According to a 2015 Indianapolis Star story, Ruth still thrilled crowds when he was introduced during an intermission between the Legion game and the Indianapolis Indians game with Milwaukee. Despite his ill health, Ruth managed to meet with young ball players, sign a few autographs, and pass out words of wisdom. Secret to hitting home runs is the snap of the wrist and timing. I bring up Ruth to emphasize why our leaders are different. They have experienced the same traumas the Sultan of Swat did. And now, because I'm one of them. The following is an excerpt from Bill Jenkinson. He's a baseball historian who is speaking at the World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame in Boise, Idaho on June 12, 2010. On May 18, 1929, a violent thunderstorm roared past Yankee Stadium, causing players to run for cover and the game to be delayed. Tragedy. There was a stampede for an exit in the right field bleachers, whereupon hundreds of fans were injured, two mortally. 17-year-old Eleanor Price was one of them. She was carried unconscious across the playing field by a police officer. Babe Ruth saw their approach and immediately shouted in the stands for a doctor. One gallant physician stepped forward, but he had no equipment with which to help. So young Eleanor was carried in a Yankee clubhouse. When the emergency personnel entered, they found her in Babe Ruth's arms as he rubbed her head. He was imploring her to live. When medical intervention was not possible, it had been decided that our best chances was for someone to raise her spirits. Who better than Babe Ruth to do that? It was an impossible task. Eleanor's injuries were so massive that she never had a chance. Babe probably sensed that, but he tried anyways. And when he failed, he couldn't overcome his sense of loss. Within a fortnight, Ruth suffered a nervous breakdown which forced him out of the lineup for weeks. Paramedic working on one of the busiest ambulances in the nation, I have held countless lifeless youths in my arms. It is a trauma I will never recover from. One that took me out of work permanently. I wept as I read through this story, knowing that the pain George was feeling as young Eleanor passed in his arms. Yet, I could smile endlessly watching our youth thrive, knowing how precious that life is after experiencing something so profound. American Legion National Commander Daniel C. Hafer has been pushing his message of Be the One. This endeavor is tasked with tasking accountability for ourselves in an attempt to mitigate the mental health crisis within our community, particularly veteran suicide. Mental health and mentorship, a message Ruth embodied, is a message that every coach, umpire, manager, chairman, and ball player lives by. A Legion ball player stands taller, speaks with confidence, and carries on traditions and legacies like no other. A Legion ball player respects the national anthem and our flag. They repeat the American Legion baseball code of sportsmanship. I will keep the rules. I will keep faith with my teammates. I will keep my temper. I will keep myself fit. I will keep a stout heart in defeat. I will keep my pride under control in victory. I will keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. So who are these leaders that champion Ruth's legacy of mentoring our youth? In New York, we had Thomas Francis Flynn, who passed last year and will forever be the embodiment of the American Legion. Tommy was a legendary figure in New York State's 6th District baseball community. Every summer, his love for baseball shone brightly, surpassed only by the joy he found in the friendships that he had made through Legion baseball. Tommy had an uncanny knack for the game, remembering plays and moments with a clarity that amazed everyone. With his iconic smoking pipe and his classic raised eyebrow, Tommy was a mentor who challenged and inspired his thoughtful Jeopardy-style questions, tested players' memories and understanding, pushing them to their best, both on and off the field. Tommy's wisdom and passion for the game left a lasting impact on everyone he met. This year's champions in New York State are Smith Post number 24 from Rome, New York. This team exemplifies what mentors like Ruth and Flynn can do to impact our future in times of extreme adversity. A week before the District 5 tournament, a tornado ripped through their hometown. Smith Post number 24, at the time the top seed, should have had their home field for their championships. A beautiful field with Griffiths Air Force Base as the backdrop. It's a historic site, still active today. It's the former site of Woodstock 99. A tornado devastated the field, making it unrecognizable. Winds were so strong that they moved the iconic B-52, bolted and moored to concrete in front of the ball field, off of its platform. The coaches, who also had damage done to their homes, families, and neighbors, guided these kids, picked them up in an impossible time. Under their leadership of United States Marine Corps veteran and Legionnaire coach Ryan Hickey, the team remained disciplined at the plate. They marched the boys from Rome, New York into hostile territory. It's Murnane Field in Utica. It's the home field of Utica Post 229. It's my alma mater. Known to be a powerhouse and the biggest rival to Smith, Rome. Most Utica players also play for Proctor High School, whose home field is Murnane as well. The boys from Smith, guided by their dedicated coaching staff, handled business, dominating the game as if they were still playing in Rome. Sitting behind the Rome fans, I understood why. The support coming from family, friends, and even the opposing crowd from Utica showed why Legion is different. I could not have been prouder of every last person in attendance that day. Utica and Rome fans alike celebrated every Legion ball player, and the conversation afterwards was about scholarships and next year's season. Everyone was eager to give these kids in District 5 every chance to be successful. Next up was the Department of New York State Baseball Championships in Binghamton, New York, on Conlin Field. A brand new turf field is built in MacArthur Park, a site of its own challenges. Before its renovations in the spring, this field had flooded multiple times. So again, another community across our great state stepped up. This site is breathtaking. It's sitting on the Susquehanna River with the American flag as the backdrop to its outfield. The drainage, turf, aesthetics, and site setup are a testament to the in-depth planning these leaders did to perfect it. The field was primed this year with some very special talent from across this great Empire State. Greece Post 468, the powerhouse defending champions from Greece outside of Rochester, is led by team manager Nelson Madrid, a Rochester police officer who can relate to the traumas of the Bambino as well. Endicott Post 82 from Union Endicott tragically lost one of their players right before the tournament, Farrell, and his mother, Tiffany Farrell, on July 19th. May they rest in peace. Coaches Matt Ferrero, Michael Jester, Mason Ryan, Gabe Fellows, and the entire community of Union Endicott carried each other and their team through this tournament with grace and sportsmanship that truly embodied their fallen family members, Colin and Tiffany. The Legion Way, family first. County Mariners, Post 1619, produced the Tournament Big Stick Award winner, Landon Dupree. Orange County Outlaws, Post 1167 from Chester, New York, and Jurek Post 1672 also had teams with just as much talent, background, and adversity. We cannot forget the traumas that we let happen to our kids during the pandemic. These athletes are all products of that time. From the moment these athletes stepped on field, there was nothing short of exceptionalism at play. The air was electric with positivity towards each other, boosting each other through every at-bat and pitch, encouraging spirits to lift when the body was out of gas, just to make it through one more inning of perfection. Anyone in attendance was blessed to watch not only a high-caliber ball play, but also of the highest caliber of professionalism in ball play. In the end, Smith Post number 24, the Tornado Torn Scrappers from Rome, took the championship and headed to Maryland for the Region 2 Mid-Atlantic American Legion Baseball Championships. They faced off against a tough field from Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. They are all teams with just as much stories of adversity, leadership, and exceptionalism. I am incredibly honored and grateful to have been given the opportunity to work with the Department of New York American Legion Baseball in every single one of these teams, coaches, and families. I am only one leader and only one Legionnaire, but I am not the only one that is living the ethos of Be the One. As someone who felt the life-changing emotions of holding on to a lifeless child, I understand why Babe Ruth did what he did for the kids. Journey has been a beacon of light for me, especially as I struggle with mental health for far too long. I once felt like I had lost my purpose and I was burdening society. But the unwavering faith and support of countless individuals have pulled me out of the darkness. So thank you to every individual mentioned and the countless more who deserve their own special ode. We are the difference that forges the greats, not only in baseball but in society as well. So take that ethos of Be the One and say, I am. God bless.